for about a week now. What have you kind of seen from your group as you've been in 7 days of practice?
Yeah, the biggest thing I've seen so far is really the guys that have been able to play multiple positions. Got to move guys around, find the best 3 guys to roll, trying to find, the top 6 guys at this point. I think a lot of guys done a really good job. The energy's there. The competitiveness is really there. It's been the best part of this so far. Is us against the DBs has been a lot of fun so far. So, yeah, just trying to find out, our best 6 guys and roll from there.
Speaking specifically to Eli, he has obviously overcome a lot of coaching transition at NDSU to come here. How much comfort do you think there was for him as a former position coach at NDSU to come back and reunite with you and Coach Roll and just other people within that NDSU community at Iowa State now?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to have Eli back. The one thing that's fun about Eli is he bet on himself to come to North Dakota State as a walk-on. Was a fun thing in the recruiting process, and he really did the same thing coming here. It's taken a leap of faith, and he came. It's been great. He's fit in right in with all those guys. It's a pretty similar room to what we had at North Dakota State when I was there, so it's been fun, and it's been fun to see him back with Coach Roll and I.
What do you feel like his potential for 2024 is as someone who, obviously has the build of a slot guy, but as a route runner can potentially make an impact on the outside as well?
Yeah, I think the versatility of what Eli brings to us is what we got to continue to find out. He definitely can play a slot. He can play outside. It's just finding, like I said earlier, that mix and match of who are the best guys and what's the best 3 guys to go out there together. And I think he's done a really good job of learning both positions, the inside and outside. So we'll just kind of let time tell here.
What have you seen from Benny this fall camp so far, and how has he made some steps from last season?
Yeah, Benny's bigger and stronger, which I'm sure you guys have seen talking to him prior to me. But Benny's a guy that loves to get in there and do the dirty work and be extremely physical, on top of him being a really fast, athletic guy in the perimeter. So he brings us a lot. He prides himself on being the best blocker in the room, and he's shown that, especially the last practice. But he also gives you that vertical threat as well. So he's come a long way. His route running has come a long way as far as now he has a little more personality on his routes, which has been really fun to see.
You mentioned Eli betting on himself as a walk-on.
Yeah.
Didn't he kind of do the same thing coming back here? He turned into an 800-yard guy last year, but got an almost 1,000-yard guy. You got Jalen, 800-plus, 7 touchdowns, and guys like Benny coming on and all that. I mean, how would you describe just the confidence he has in himself, but also it seems like he's very much a student of the game. He's really worked to get to where he's gotten. Yeah, that's been the biggest thing, really, him coming from NDSU to here is at NDSU you run a lot of similar schemes. It's just all the verbiage and terminology that you got to learn. So for that part of it, it was an easy transition. But, yeah, definitely, you're coming in a room that's loaded right now. And he's gone in there, and he's confident, which has been cool to see, whether it's one-on-ones, whether it's team reps, all those things he's competing on. So it's not as if he's far behind. Now a little bit of terminology here and there will get him, but he is a student of the game, and he's caught up pretty fast.
He talked to us a lot about having to relearn the playbook and learn verbiage. What is that process like for anybody, not just him, and in terms of catching up and sticking with it?
Yeah, it's a little different when you got guys coming in as a true freshman, maybe guys that we think we're going to play. You really gotta push them. But guys that maybe that like him coming in mid-year that we feel like we need you right now. It takes a lot in the summertime, getting them the formations, starting it, and you break it down. Formations, plays, concepts, all that stuff going into it. You got to make sure that you really look at and start from that process. You can't go too fast. You can't go too slow. For him, we're trying to teach him the slot first and then work out to the perimeter. But he's done a good job the last 4 practices of being able to do both for us.
How do you balance not going too fast, not going too slow when you can't do all the other stuff until you learn what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, I think it's individually based. Some guys are faster learners, and there's some guys that can take it from the classroom right out to the field. And there's some guys that got to go out and do it first a couple times before they get it. And Eli's a guy that's pretty good in the classroom. Like I said, North Dakota State, we ran in the run game, at least a lot of schemes. In the pass game, a lot of stuff are carrying over. So it hasn't been too much of learning new concepts. It's just the verbiage of it.
For Benny, you talked about his run blocking. How much does that allow a guy to get on the field more when you're able to do that?
A lot. That's the one thing that we talk about from day one. If you don't possess a level of toughness, you're really gonna have a hard time playing here at any point in your career. But the way you gain respect from your teammates right away, whether it's on special teams or at your receiver position, is going out and showing that toughness, being willing to block and be physical. And he's done that since day one, which has been fun.
Coach, how have you seen Jaden and Jalen grow as leaders of that room?
Yeah, they're continuing to be the alphas in the room. The fun thing about Jaden is now he's a lot more vocal. He's a lot comfortable in the offense. He's coaching other guys up more than him, like, hey, I got to worry about my position. He's stopping me in meetings at times and adding things on to guys that they should do in one-on-one reps or in the team reps. And those guys are going to be the front of the line every single time. So the way they practice, they carry themselves. I mean, all these young guys are just a sponge to those two guys. And it's been fun to see those guys grow together because they're best friends and they do everything together and they do this thing together on the field as well. So it's pretty cool.
Obviously, Jaden and Jalen already pretty well self-driven, but you as their position coach, anything you've kind of preached to them this offseason that'll kind of help them get to the next level?
As far as getting to the
Yeah, just, I mean, maybe techniques or just different concepts.
So we're always right now, those older guys, we're worried about right now of what we got to do to win football games type of deal. And I think our biggest thing going to year two are really this offense. Last year, we kind of got the bones of it down, and now we're building off of that thing. And those guys all feel more comfortable now. So now it's more continue to detail all these routes, all these concepts, and then those guys continue to get better of getting in and out of their breaks, creating separation. We want to push the ball on the field, so we got to be great down the field as well in contested catches. So just trying to do a little bit more in the Indian. We can be more advanced now.
In your years of experience in doing this, have you ever had a room quite like the one you've got this year? And how do you kind of manage just all of the weapons or playmakers that are coming back and, keep everybody happy and kind of on the, with the same goal and mindset?
Yeah, I don't know if I've had this deep of a room before. I've had a lot of talent, definitely, but I don't know if we have 6 to 8 guys deep right now. You feel confident going and playing at any moment. But I think the great thing about our room is they're all best friends. They all enjoy each other. They compete their tails off with each other. But it's an offense right now that if the ball's going to the tailbacks, it's going to the tight ends, it doesn't matter. These guys just want to win football games. So there is a little bit of balance of, man, who's in the rotation, who are we trying to get the ball to, this and that. But for the guys in the room, as far as understanding, like, hey, this is about winning games and not about stats, those guys are all on board for all of that.
What have you seen from Benny and his individual response to Isaiah kind of coming in and having an opportunity to compete with him on the outside opposite Jaden?
Yeah, I don't know if Benny's even looked at that as something that he was worried about. He's a guy that's kind of worried about him and understanding the offense and how he can be better and how he can continue to grow. And Benny's a quiet, like a silent assassin, man. He just goes about his business and he doesn't say a whole lot. And then you get into these run periods and these team periods, and he's just putting hands on guys, being physical, go up and making plays. So I don't think he's looked too much into it. Like I said, if he has, it hasn't shown so far.
Isaiah obviously comes in the spring. How advantageous have you seen that be for him as you guys start training camp?
Yeah, it was great to have him in. Now, he had a little bit of injury in the spring, so it slowed his development down a little bit, but the kid's a student of the game as well. He's done everything to try to understand, man, this entire offense, not just one position, and he's driven as well. He's fit in really, really well with that room. We saw a couple plays on last practice and one-on-ones where he can go up, and he's got great ball skills, great body control. So that's definitely something for us that we can use down the field.